Hey everyone, it's Rose from Yoga for All with Rose. Today I'm bringing you a mindful movement snack, which is a cat and cow with a twist. So the idea is that we will be using the wall to help us explore a little further our cat and cow, which really focuses on spinal mobility. So this sequence is great for exploring, better understanding, and refining your spinal mobility, but also it strengthens your core and your center line, what I call center line. So basically that support in our abdominal wall, as well as it helps us explore and hopefully also strengthen the shoulder girdle. If you have any problems with your shoulders, I advise you not to use the wall, but do the movements themselves in a regular tabletop format. But thank you for being here. This is very exciting. So I'm going to start on my little mat. I'm close to a wall. And let's find our tabletop all fours right here. I invite you to kind of play if you want to have your toes tucked under, if you want to have the tops of your feet on the floor. And as always, if you have sensitivity on your knees, feel free to fold a blanket or something soft, an extra layer under your knees. So finding your tabletop where my wrists are under my shoulders, my knees are right under my hips. And here, just find your neutral spine, meaning you have to send, as the gravity pulls you down, it's best to engage your core a little bit by gently pulling your navel in and up. So finding that sensation of support in your trunk. Very good. So here we are. We're going to start very gently. I need to maybe take a step closer to the wall. I'm going to place one hand to the wall. So as you can see, I have two knees, lower legs on the floor, one hand on the floor and one hand on the wall. So where this hand lands is something you'll need to explore. I'm quite comfortable going pretty much straight out from my shoulder line. And now here, gently push into both hands. Inhaling to prepare, filling the lungs. Exhale and find your cat by bringing your chin to the chest, tucking your tailbone under and pushing your shoulder blades to the sky. Inhaling, filling the lungs, softening the belly, bringing the heart forward, careful with the neck. Let's repeat that. Exhaling, circling, rounding, pushing to the floor and the wall. Inhaling, opening the heart, softening the belly. Notice what happens in your shoulder joint there. One more. Exhale, push into that variation of cat and cow. And inhale, finding that opening in the heart, softening in the belly. And then come to your neutral spine. Gently bring that hand from the wall down. Maybe you do a little bit of movement for your shoulders, whatever is intuitive and feels good to you. At any time, if this is too much for your wrists, feel free to bring your hand a little bit further out from under your shoulder. It takes the stress off the wrist a little bit. Alternatively, you could fold a blanket or something under so that raises the angle. It raises the palm of the hand and diminishes the angle right here. Sometimes this 90 degrees angle can get bothersome. Well, long story short, here we are, pressing my opposite hand with splayed fingers to the wall. First, just finding the two hands connected where they are. Inhaling, feeling the engagement in my core. Exhale, finding that cat and cow, pushing into hands, pushing into the tops of my feet. Inhaling, finding the opposite expression for my spine. Exhaling, rounding the spine. Inhaling and exhaling. Really pushing into the hand on the wall as well as the one on the floor. And then come to your neutral spine and just bring that other hand down as well. Do any shoulder movement that feels good to you. Now, from there, we're just going to do a very simple pushing to the wall thing that really engages our core. So as you are on your all fours, engage your core, pulling the navel in and up. Now note that my back is not going to go into a cat shape, it's just going to stay neutral. Then I'm extending one hand to the wall, and then I'm extending the other hand to the wall, pushing into the tips of my fingers to relieve any pressure on my wrists, as well as really feeling the tops of my toes on the floor. And I'm going to breathe here. I'm really going to try to breathe to the sides of my ribs, maintaining the control in the core, pushing to the wall, lengthening the neck. Third time, and then just gently come down. Okay, maybe you come sit on your knees, maybe your shoulders do a couple rolls, maybe you shake those wrists a little bit. Moving on, finding your tabletop. Extend one arm. Now extend behind you the opposite leg away from your body, somewhat parallel to the floor. And here we're going to repeat our cat and cow. Pushing to the wall. Exhale, bring your knee towards your nose. Inhale, reach it out. 2 more times. Exhaling, bringing the knee to the nose. This is a version of the cat and cow. Inhaling, reaching far with your heel. Last time. Exhale, round the spine, pushing to the wall. Inhale, find the length. Place the knee down. Bring the hand down. Other side. Pressing the opposite side than you just did to the wall, splaying the fingers, really feeling the tips of the fingers on the wall as well. Extending the opposite leg back. Inhaling, pushing to the wall. Exhaling, bringing that knee towards your nose, rounding the spine as you push the wall. Inhaling, reaching back with your heel. Exhaling, rounding that spine, pushing into all fingertips. One more time. Inhaling, reaching that heel far. Exhaling, rounding the spine. Place the knee down. Oh, I think we forgot one. I'm sorry. From there, extend one more time and then place the knee down. Place the hand down. Moving on. Place one hand to the floor, to the wall, the opposite that you just worked with. But now we're going to extend the same side leg to behind you, right? Somewhat parallel to the floor. And now my heel is going to do small circles as I try to stabilize my core, my shoulders, and everything in place. Reverse your little circles with your heel. And then reach out with the heel, push into the wall, find length, distal stretch away from your center, and then come in. Place the hand down. Other hand on the wall, splay the fingers. Reaching the same side heel behind you. Here we are, making little circles in the back space with your heel. They don't have to be big. The whole point is really that we're trying to balance here. Going the other way. Nice. Now push your heel away from your center line as well as your hand away from there, from the center line. Then place your knee down. Bring your hand down. Lovely. Now let's do a little bit of a break for our wrists. This is optional and you need to really explore how this feels for you. But I'm going to do a gentle stretch for the front of my wrist. So maybe turning my fingers towards my pelvis and seeing where I have mobility and availability. Gently releasing it. I'm holding my weight towards my heel, so I'm not dumping into the wrist that I'm stretching here. And then the same thing, maybe the elbow is first bent and maybe then you straighten in. I invite you to walk like a kitty cat a couple times if this feels good for you. You might also be a little closer to your seat and kind of a kneeling position. Explore, open, and then sitting on your heels, very gentle, stretch off the top of the wrist, top of the hand. So it's just like it's doing a peek, and I'm very gently placing my other hand on it. And if that feels comfortable for you, then I can extremely gently pull a little. Shaking that hand, doing the peek with the other hand, just placing the hand on top of it first. And if that is okay, then you might enjoy pushing it down just a little bit. But this is very, very gentle. And then shaking that hand. Lovely. Come to all fours. Tuck your toes under. And now I want you to hover your knees. Remember that center line we've been activated? This is where it really needs to activate. And from there, lift your tail to the sky. Bring your chest towards your thighs, pushing into your hands, finding your downward facing dog. Your seat is towards the air. You're sharing weight between your 2 feet and your 2 hands. My heels don't quite reach the floor. Your knees do not need to be straight. It's finding this triangle shape that matters. Then gliding those heels down again, hovering them. Take a deep breath here. And a deep breath out. Place your heels down. Maybe you sit on your heels or you find your comfortable seat wherever you find a moment to turn in. Maybe closing your eyes. Take stock. Note all the sensations in your body. Any changes in how you feel your shoulders, your upper arms, your lower arms, your wrists and hands. Any changes in your spine. Opening your eyes if you had them closed. I thank you for your time and energy. I hope this brought joy to your day. As always, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Thank you. Let your light shine bright. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.